Hey there, my friends. My name is iirix. Today I'm going to be reviewing another card which I like, and I like how we got multiple versions of it, in a sense, as far as red goes. Today's card is Collective Defiance. For one red, you get a sorcery with Escalate 1. Pay this cost for each mode chosen beyond the first. Choose one or more. Target player discards all the cards in his or her hand, then draws that many cards. Collective Defiance deals 4 damage to target creature, or Collective Defiance deals 3 damage to target opponent. I like this card a lot because it's 3 mana to do one of those abilities, and they're all good looking abilities. The 3 damage to the opponent is kind of like, meh, whatever. But I like how it's on there so that late in the game, if you're doing 4 damage to a creature, or you're discarding your hand to draw cards, because most likely you'd probably be doing it to yourself, unless the opponent is building up combos in hand, and you know this, they've been tutoring for some things. You would go and you'd use it, and then towards the end of the game, when you have the mana to burn, pun intended, when you have the extra mana to burn, that was dumb. You'd pay the escalate cost and deal 3 to the opponent, because why not? I mean, if that's not your goal, well, obviously it is your goal in the end, but if that's not what you're trying to do with this card here, it's something that if you have the mana, you can just kind of tack on there and go 4, 3, bam, And I noticed that. I recently played Standard, and I saw somebody playing a burn deck, and they had this, and I never really thought of it like that. I thought 3 mana, okay, that's fair to do 3 damage to the opponent, I guess. 4 damage to a creature, alright, sure. A wheel effect, yeah, alright, sure. But when you look at it, like, yes, it's 3 mana for each one of those things, but if you want to, it's 5 mana for all of those things. So the more you put into it, the more value it is. And I realized that the second the opponent was like, burn your last creature, burn you, swing for lethal, and I was like, oh, game 2 or 3 or whatever. I never really thought about it like that. I just kind of looked at it and went, yeah, that's a fair burn spell. But I like this, and I'm happy to see that we have this, because burn spells don't usually go very far. I mean, it's damage, and that's it. Not like Collective Effort, where you can put +1 counters on your stuff, And you do this, and then you have in draft, or even standard, I don't know if you'd play it in standard, but in draft, I've had this with the uncommon version, which does 2 damage to a creature, and 1 damage to each creature the opponent has, and something else that I never looked at because I really didn't care. And I don't have it in front of me, sorry guys, but I think this is really cool. I'm just kind of going on about burning spells. So anyway, today the numbers are 4, Collective Defiance, draft is a 4, because it's a very solid burn spell that you can do to finish off the opponent. You can do to refill your hand, which in draft you typically will be playing, and most cards are valuable. They're not always great, like Dawngryff is just a 2/2 flyer. It's a wind drake, but it's still a good card. You still play it in draft, and if you draw a bunch of lands, you can wheel yourself, and then, you get rid of those lands, and you get 1/1 flyers, or 2/2 flyers, or whatever, or 1/1 first strike, and that's value right there. So, 4 on draft. Standard, I'll give it a 3. Same thing, except in a dedicated burn deck, unless you're trying to go fast and race to 20, like I saw yesterday, people will go and they'll play it, and they'll play a little bit more control style, and that's cool with me because, it's burn control. It's like, it's interesting. I love watching that and how that works. And that's what this guy did. And he played this late in the game so that he could get all 3 abilities. He did not try to get it out quick as possible. He did it so he can get all 3 options. And then he had a hand of like 5 or 6 cards, and he wheeled himself with it. And it's like, okay, then, whole new hand of fuel, whatever. The hand must have been garbage, And that's really cool. Modern, I'm going to go with another 3. Because all the same reasons. The only thing that I don't like about this card is it's a sorcery. It's not instant speed. That's the only thing I don't like about this card. I think the cost at 3 is fair for one of those abilities, and then add 1 more for 2 of those abilities, add 2 more for all 3 of the abilities. Super fair. I don't have a lot to say about it in Modern. I mean, it's a burn spell, but I've already said everything I can think of about it. EDH at 2.5, because burn spells are not something you usually play in EDH unless they're X or they burn the field. But I'm giving this a 2.5 because you can use it to either disrupt the opponent's hand or refresh your hand. So that's what I have to say about Collective Defiance. If you have a different opinion, let me know down below. If you like what I have to say, leave a like. And hey, subscribe while you're at it too. It doesn't cost you a thing. It's totally free. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all next time.